So, David, what are your views on gay marriage?
My view is that we should not tolerate under any circumstances any discrimination or unfair treatment of anyone because they're gay or for any other reason for that matter. And therefore I think we need to look at these proposals in a positive way. I personally think that it's not up to politicians to prevent people from making commitments to each other in any way that they wish.
Surely there are concerns. What are the concerns to do with this issue?
There are a lot of people who've contacted me about this, for and against, and there are two concerns that have come up, which I share. The first is, will this impact on religious freedom? If the government legalise marriage for gay couples in the same way that marriage is currently the norm state for heterosexual couples who want to commit to each other, does that mean that two gay activists could turn up at their local church or mosque and say, I want to be married, you must do it, or you're going to be a breach of discrimination legislation? That is the first concern. The second is one that many people who I believe are not in any way prejudiced against people who are gay have raised with me, which is, are all the official forms going to change so that I will no longer have a husband or a wife, but a partner or a spouse?
So how are you going to deal with these concerns primarily?
Well, the first one, if you like, the religious freedom concern, I've written directly to Ben Summerskill, who's the head of Stonewall, the gay rights group, and Trevor Phillips, who's the head of the Equality and Human Rights Commission, and to Theresa May, and asked them about this issue of religious freedom. And Ben Summerskill and Trevor Phillips have come back and said categorically they do not believe that it either would or should make any difference to religious freedom. I've put their responses on my website, and they're very clear and unambiguous, and both have said that they would not support any activists who came to them saying we want to get married in church. Theresa May hasn't answered yet. I've asked her more specifically, if cases were brought against churches, would she be willing to rewrite discrimination legislation? So I'm waiting for a response to that, which I'll also put on mine. So anyway, that I think is reassuring, and I hope people will look at that. On the other issue though, that's going to require the issue of whether or not we change forms. That's going to need a bit more research, and quite a lot more reassurance, both for me and for people who are concerned about it. And there's been a recent case brought before the European courts, which some have interpreted as meaning that if Britain does bring in legislation to allow gay couples to get married in the same way that heterosexual couples can, then it might have an impact on religious freedom. So we're sort of back to square one again on that one. I think all these issues need to be addressed, but that isn't about having a go at people for being gay. It's very much not. It's about making sure that everyone's rights are respected equally.
Sure. So how do you intend to vote?
I don't know yet. It's one of those difficult ones where there are arguments for and against. What I don't want to do is trample on the rights of anyone, whether they're gay or whether they're religious or whether they're happy within their heterosexual married relationship referring to each other as husband and wife. My political instincts always tell me it's not for politicians to interfere in people's lives. The trouble is, on this issue, one way or another, I think we are going to end up interfering. So I'm going to try and find out how to keep that interference to an absolute minimum and vote accordingly.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much, David.